Pointe du Hoc juts out into the English Channel, a formidable headland on the Normandy coast of France. It sits strategically between two of the 5 D-Day landing beaches. To the east lies Omaha Beach. To the west, Utah Beach. This dramatic promontory is defined by its sheer 100-foot cliffs that drop straight into the churning sea below. It offered a natural fortress, a perfect observation post for anyone wanting to control the coastline. For the German forces occupying France, it was a critical piece of their Atlantic wall, the coastal defenses built to repel any Allied invasion. Its very geography made it a daunting and seemingly impenetrable stronghold. Allied intelligence believed the Germans had installed a powerful battery of 6 155 mm GPF artillery guns at Pointe du Hoc. These guns were formidable weapons with a range of over 10 miles. From their elevated position, they could rain down devastating fire on both Omaha and Utah beaches. This would have caused catastrophic losses for the American troops scheduled to land there. The success of the entire right flank of the D-Day invasion depended on neutralizing this threat. If those guns were allowed to fire, the landings at Omaha and Utah could fail before they even truly began. Because of this grave danger, Pointe du Hoc became a top priority target for Allied high command. The planners knew that simply bombing the site would not be enough. The guns were housed in thick concrete casemates designed to withstand aerial bombardment. Months of air raids had pounded the area, turning the landscape into a cratered, moon-like surface. But there was no guarantee the guns themselves had been destroyed. The only way to be absolutely certain the battery was silenced was to send in ground troops to destroy them up close. The incredibly dangerous mission of capturing Pointe du Hoc was assigned to the United States Army's elite 2nd Ranger Battalion. These were not ordinary soldiers. The Rangers were a provisional force, specially trained for high-risk operations. Modeled on the British Commandos, they were volunteers, chosen for their exceptional physical fitness, resilience, courage. Under the command of Lieutenant Colonel James E. Rudder, these men had spent months preparing for this very moment. They trained relentlessly in England, practicing climbing techniques on similar cliffs. They became masters of using ropes, grappling hooks, specialized ladders to scale vertical rock faces. The plan was as bold as it was straightforward. On the morning of June 6, 1944, Company D, Company E, and Company F would approach the cliffs from the sea in a small flotilla of landing craft. These boats were fitted with rocket-propelled grappling hooks attached to ropes, and a set of extendable fire truck ladders borrowed from the London Fire Brigade. At the designated time, they would fire the hooks onto the cliff top, secure their lines, and begin the arduous climb. Their objective was simple and brutal: fight their way to the top, overcome the German garrison, locate the 155mm guns, destroy them using thermite grenades. Timing was absolutely critical. The Rangers had to land at precisely 6:30 a.m. The plan relied on speed, surprise, and the sheer audacity of a vertical assault. The element of surprise, however, was compromised from the very beginning. Navigational errors, rough seas, caused the landing craft to drift off course, delaying their arrival by a crucial 40 minutes. This meant they were approaching the cliffs in much fuller daylight than anticipated. The German defenders were alerted to their presence and were ready and waiting. As the Rangers' landing craft neared the shore, they came under a hail of machine gun fire. Grenades rained down from the cliff top. The most dangerous mission of D-Day was about to begin, and it was already going wrong. As the ramps dropped, the Rangers were met with a storm of German fire on the beach. They plunged into the cold water, raced across the cratered sand, and began the desperate climb up the sheer cliffs under relentless attack. Grenades and machine gun fire rained down as the men climbed, hand over hand, many falling before reaching the top. Those who made it engaged in brutal close-quarters combat, fighting from crater to crater. When the Rangers reached the casemates, they found the guns gone, missing. A patrol soon discovered the hidden artillery in an orchard, unguarded but ready to fire. The Rangers destroyed the guns with thermite grenades, silencing the threat to the D-Day landings. For 2 days, the battered survivors held Pointe du Hoc against fierce counterattacks, cut off and low on ammunition. Of over 200 Rangers, only about 90 could still fight when reinforcements arrived. Their courage and sacrifice became legend. Today, Pointe du Hoc stands as a memorial to their bravery, a scarred battlefield and a solemn reminder of the price of freedom.